Hello everyone. Today we are going to review the Marker Plus system. As you may remember, Marker Plus is a system that allows to automate the order entries when an object is detected. Objects can be anything from the chart toolbar. For example, if one indicator, any indicator that we have paints a green arrow, then we can program markers to enter long when that happens. But on the Plus version we have a lot of more features, like for example creating filters and also or A1 signals. Let's see, for example, let's see a few examples now. Let's say that we have a setup where I have a moving average and a Kellner. With this we can take several actions. For example, not taking trades when the moving average is inside the Kellner, because usually this is a possible trend change or a consolidation range. Also, we can take only longs when the moving average is over the envelope and we have a space between both, or taking shorts when the moving average is all below. So to create those filters, for example, the filter to avoid trades on sideways mode, or also to create a short signal here and a long signal here, then we only need to copy these lines into marker variables. Let's see how we can do that. We use the copy. With the copy, now I am going to copy the exponential moving average. It was of a period of 17, and I assign a name. Let's call it EMA 17. If I put this line over the chart, you can see that it overlaps the EMA, so I can remove it, and I can do the same with the Kellner. Let's copy the Kellner. It was a period of 50, and the upper line, this part of the Kellner, and I will name it Kell up. I will use a red color, and the same for the lower part. I choose the lower line. The name is LDN and in color red. Something is wrong. Yes, I forgot to change the period to 50. Now can be over the chart, and now we can remove the Kellner. So now all my indicators are copied versions, and I have their values into markers variables. My variables are EMA17, kel up, and kel down. Let's see one of the things that we can do with it. For example, let's say that I want a signal here and a signal here. For that, I use the crossover indicator. On the crossover, I check the EMA17 versus, this is the Kellner up, Kel up. And the name for this new value, which is the difference between both lines, will be up. I can paint both crossovers, but I am not interested in the up and down, up and down. I only interested on the up crosses. So I remove the down. Now I have signals when the blue line crosses up the upper Kellner. Now I need the same for the other line. Use again the crossover, EMA17 versus kel down. The name for this is the end, and I want to paint only the crossover downs, not the crossover ups. And here we have the red arrow. We also get those histograms. Those histograms are the difference. First one is the difference between the blue line and the upper Kellner. We can see when we cross to the upside, we get a signal. When we cross to the downside, here, I don't have nothing. And the other, when we cross to the downside, we have this signal. These values are named up and down. Up and down. And we can use those names for creating more conditions. For example, let's say that I want to signal when the blue line is inside the envelope, so we are in chop mode. That happens when up, this one, is negative, and down is positive. Only this part. So I need the AND indicator. And when up, this one is negative, so it has a maximum of 0. And when down is positive, so it has a minimum of 0. The result is chop mode. So now when we have blue bars, a condition result equal to 1, then we are in chop mode. And when we have red bars, the result is -1, we are trending down or trending up. I can also paint signals when this happens, I can signal the first instance. So the first blue bar, that means when the blue line enters inside the envelope we have a dot, and when it enters again we have a dot. We can paint the first or all the signals. So all these bars are bars where the blue line is inside the envelope. I will not paint any symbol. I can choose any marker. But now I also don't want these crossover signals. So my only intention was to have a filter. Now, let's say I want to trade longs when the slope of a line is positive. Let's say T3. This one is very fast. So when it is going up, I want to go long. When it is going down, I want to go short, but not anywhere. I want to go long only when the blue line is over the envelope, and I want to go short only. There are not examples here. Here I want to go short when the blue line is below the envelope. So I need to know the slope of this line. For that I use the slope indicator. On the slope I select the indicator and the name for this is T3 slope. This is the slope of the T3. And we can see that it also paints signals when it starts a new trend. Here we have a positive slope, negative slope. We have a threshold. If we make this threshold too small, we can get more fake signals like these two. This slope is negative but very small, so we can adjust the threshold to ignore those small changes. We can paint or not these signals, but on this example, if I enter on this short, the blue line is still not aligned, so I want a signal when the slope is negative and also the blue line is below the lower Kellner. So then I turn the markers off, and I need to create a new condition. The condition to trigger signals, long signals, when the slope is positive and the blue line is over the Kellner channel. So let's create the conditions for the long. The T3 slope must be positive, so the minimum is 0, and the up variable, up is the difference between the EMA and the upper Kellner, is also positive because the blue line is over the upper Kellner, so it is 0. We have a by here, it is a signal, and I want to paint the first time that happens with an arrow up in color green. And now we have the first instance, another instance, another one, and for a short, what I want is the T3 slope be negative, so it has a maximum of 0, and the down variable, down is the difference between the EMA and lower Kellner, and this must be negative because I want the blue line below the Kellner, so this difference is negative, so it has a maximum of 0. The result is a cell. I want to show the first signal, an arrow down in color red. And here we have the signals. I can remove all the signals below, so we have a lot of signals, a lot of indicators. And it is ready for markers. Now I only need to add the markers. Add just 2 green arrows and red arrows, and if I want I can use filters. For example, I don't want chop to be true. When chop is true, it has a value of 1. That means I want a maximum of 0. It is equal to say I want chop to be false. And that's all. Okay, hope you find this useful, and if you have any question, suggestion, please post below this video. Thank you everyone, see you, bye bye.